Hello everyone, in this video I just want to go over installation of Ubuntu in my system. If you're preparing for the LPIC exam, it's something that you should do, and you should install at least Ubuntu Shintas or a Red Hat machine and play with the environment and the commands. And I would recommend that you actually download as many flavors of Linux as possible and do this exercise. Okay, to do that we're gonna start, and we're just gonna call it Ubuntu 19.10. That's the latest version of the Ubuntu that's stable right now that I downloaded, and we're just gonna use it. And let's give it maybe 6 gigs of memory. Okay, and then recommended size for Ubuntu is 10 gigs. You can increase, create a virtual hard disk now. That's the option that I choose. Pretty much I want to choose all the default ones. Here is the VirtualBox disk image VDI that I like to use a lot. Keep moving. I like to use the dynamically allocated hard disk, so that it's not, if I'm not using the hard disk space, I can use it for something else. Keep moving. If you want to increase your disk size, so let's make it 20.52. You can just make it 20. Okay, you can use whatever. I'm just gonna use 20.5. Okay, then I say create, and that's pretty much it. Your system is pretty much ready, and if you look at setting, you have everything available to you: your display, your storage, your audio device network, serial port, USB, everything is in there, and the system comes with all of this stuff. So what you need to do, you just go back and you just try to start it, because you have nothing installed in that hard disk that you've specified. It's going to ask you, hey, what do you want to do? So here I'm going to go and get the downloaded ISO for Ubuntu 19, and I'm going to open it and start it, and it should pretty quickly give you an option either to load the whole operating system in the memory, and you can run the whole operating system from the memory without any installation, or you can install the system. In this exercise we're going to install it, and what we'll do, we'll create a default partition. We're now going to get into how to create and manage partitions. So we'll pretty much go through the most standard version of the installations. Alright, it should bring up the window where you have the option either to try Ubuntu or install the Ubuntu in a second, and we'll go from there. Alright, it's coming up pretty soon. So in this one, alright, we are in this screen where I'm just going to select it. So I'm going to select the English is my language, and I'm going to just click on install Ubuntu, and let's see what happens. Alright, keyboard layout, I'm still going to use the English US. I'm in the US, so hit next or continue. And for this one, I'm just going to use the normal installation. It's going to give me web browser, utilities, software, games, and media players. If you want, you can download updates while installing Ubuntu. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm just going to go with the normal installation and hit continue. In reality, it's could be a big deal when you do this step. A lot of design may go into, if you want to create a partition, say a lot of companies, they may want to save the log files in a completely different partition. Your var log, maybe your home you want to put it in a different partition. Operating system could be in a different partition. So though that kind of stuff, design, it takes some thought process in a production environment. But for your home use, it should be okay just to use the normal installation. And here again, our disk has nothing, and I'm going to go with the default option and just say install now, and that will initialize the installation process. And this is what it's going to tell me. The partition table of the following devices is changed, and it's a SDA, that's the virtual standard disk, and it's going to use the ext4 as my file system, and it's going to install my operating system there. So we just say, yeah, go ahead and do it, and it should start the installation process at this time, and it's just going to go through some screens. Installation process is not really too long. New York, you can choose whatever time zone you are in. This time zone works for me, so I'm just going to say continue. And your name, say test, say user. So if you want to make your computer's name small, which I am going to recommend, so just say, I'm going to say it's call it test. Okay, username, you can call it test. Password, you use a pretty difficult password for this one, secure password, and then just go through it. I'm sure you know the importance of having a long and strong password for your security. Alright, you see it's now started copying files from the iOS to your hard disk wherever it's installing all those files, and it will give you some options and talk about some features of Ubuntu. Like this one is telling you it's fast and full of new features. The latest version of Ubuntu makes computing easier than ever. Here are just a few cool new things to look for. So you can click on this right arrow and just kind of see what's going to come up with. It's telling you say goodbye to searching the web for new software, and that's actually a great feature that I like. Ubuntu has an extensive software repository with a GUI where you can go and just pretty much search for anything, and pretty much anything you search, they have some kind of software that's available, and most of them, a lot of them are free. Okay, and then let's do, what else do we have? It says it's RhythmBox music player, comes with it. Spotify comes with it. VLC comes with it. So if you want to play video, listen to music, everything is already included. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have to install any new thing. It's all coming as a pre-packaged thing for you. So it's a great news, because who doesn't love to listen to music while you code or do some work on it on your computer? Alright, have fun with photos. Shotable photo manager, I don't use this very much, but it's pretty nice. If you have a photograph, it gives you a lot of features to edit the photo, make it look better, stuff like that. It also supports the GIMP image editor and the PTV video editor if you want to do some more advanced photo editing or video editing for yourself. Web, the Firefox is the default web browser. It's included for you. Chromium is not automatically installed, but you can go to the software repository, search for Chromium, and if you'll be able to install with one click of a button. And again, if you're using Ubuntu, always make sure that you're using the software repository, the software center that they have, and that is going to be the recommended way of installing software. If you can find something there, then only you run your apt-get install whatever you do on your command line. You may be great with command line, but still I would recommend that if it's available in the software in their repository, go for it. That must be tested, should not cause any problem with any other installed software in your system. More reliable. And another thing, all the LibreOffice Writer, Calc, Impress, like the PowerPoint, the simpler stuff like Word and PowerPoint. LibreOffice is like an open source version of kind of the Microsoft Word Office suite. So all of that comes auto install. A lot of Linux systems, they will not have this installed when you get it, but in Ubuntu these are all they're all going to be there for you, and they're pretty sleek and you will love working with them. Access for everyone, they have assistive technologies, language support, lots of cool features to make the system look the way you want, and if you want a new theme, change the background, increase the brightness, and even do the universal access thing, play around with the features. It's very, very feature rich, and you can do a lot with the system. You will not feel like it's you have to be a Linux guru to run the Ubuntu. It's very, very user friendly, very secure, and good for everyone. Let's see what else we have. Other than that, help and support is also one of the very important aspect of Ubuntu that a lot of people don't realize. Say you started using an odd Linux that you thought may be cool. You started working on that box, but you came up with, like, you have to install some software. The amount of help and support that you'll find for Ubuntu, you will not find for anything else. Maybe CentOS, maybe Fedora, but if you have some oddball software that you want to install, you know Ubuntu is like excellent for supporting features, and the community that we have, you'll find the answers in 99% of the cases. At least I have never had any problem like where I have, like, had a roadblock and I was trying to find a solution and I couldn't find it. It's always there. You just do a Google, go to maybe Stack Overflow, or it will take you to the Ubuntu Ask Ubuntu forum. In the community, they will have some answer for you. So that's the another feature that I like. So installation process is still going on. At this point, I'm just gonna pause the video for a second and come back when it gives me the next screen. Alright, my friends, it's still all the downloads, they have been completed, and it's pretty much unpacking the packages that is now stored in the hard disk. Now it's unpacking everything to make sure that it can install. We'll come back in a second and complete the installation process in a few minutes. The installation is still going on. It's taking a little bit longer than my bare metal install. Bare metal install, as I can remember, took probably 15 minutes, maybe 20. This one probably is taking about 30 minutes or so in my virtual environment. Usually they don't take so long. It's most likely my system. Let me know how easy to install, how long did it take for you. We should be finishing up our install in a minute or so. I'm just going to pause the video and I'll come back when the installation is done and we're ready to reboot the system and ready to use it. Okay, my friend, we're back to the window. Now the installation is complete and you get this dialog box. It will ask you to restart the installation. So all we need to do is click on the restart now, and we're going to verify that we have done a successful install just in a moment. You gotta remember the username and password that you provided. For this one we use test and my secret password, so we'll take a look at it real quick as soon as it comes back. It will say please remove the installation media and then press enter. Just press enter, and it should give you the login window, the login GUI for your system. Just give it a second and it will show up. Alright, I think after restarting, my login window is showing up, coming up in a second. Alright, my test user screen is now here. All I need to do at this time is click on the test user and provide my super secret password, and I should be able to log in and start using my virtual machine. Well, that concludes this video, and I hope you like it, and you should be able to follow the instructions and come up with your own installation and start playing with the Ubuntu 19.10 installation and have fun. Before you go, once you're in for the first time, you'll have a whole bunch of options to configure your system. Like you can connect to your account if you like, set up your mailbox and stuff like that. We'll just go over here and we'll just open the terminal, because that's where we'll be running all of the commands that you need for the LPIC exam. And remember, they told you to keep the computer name short if you had a really long name. So this will take up a lot of windows, so you will have less amount of space to time. So there we go. And I'm just going to do a ls, so make sure that system is working fine. So I'm happy with the installation, and let's also do a ping google.com, and you see it's already connected with the network. So with the VirtualBox, it's everything networking, everything comes pre-configured, so you don't really have to do too much on it. You can immediately start using the system, run some sudo apt update command, provide your password again, sudo apt invalid operation up. You need to type it properly. Okay, then once the package, you got the latest file, you just go through the following steps. We'll cover all of that in another video. So for now, you have a fully working install of Ubuntu 19.10 version, and it looks stunning, and you have fun using it. Thank you. If you like it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, please.